Hello, YouTube family. Hope everybody's doing well today. I want to read to you again from my book. It's Christmas Christian, and I'll be reading Chapter 5, Evergreens and Other Christmas Traditions. The use of evergreens at or around the winter solstice is found in many ancient pagan cultures, including the Egyptians, the Romans, and the Vikings, as well as the Druidic culture of the Celts. They are usually associated with the worship of the sun god, particularly around the time of the winter festival, which occurs in many cultures at the winter solstice, the point when the sun is at its lowest in the winter sky. Did you know that the decoration of trees with silver and gold in connection with a celestial event is mentioned in the Bible? However, the reference is not a favorable one. The prophet Jeremiah lived for many years under Babylonian rule and saw for himself the customs of that nation. Does the practice he describes sound familiar to you? Perhaps over the years you and your family have done almost the exact same thing in your home for Christmas as Jeremiah describes. Thus says the Lord, do not learn the way of the Gentiles. Do not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the Gentiles are dismayed at them. For the customs of the peoples are futile. For one cuts a tree from the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They decorate it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers so that it will not topple. They are upright like a palm tree, and they cannot speak. They must be carried, because they cannot go by themselves. Do not be afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, nor can they do any good. In the Western world, the tradition of evergreen decorations around Christmas, especially the adornment of fir trees, was maintained by the Germans, who brought their custom into the English-speaking world. Indeed, any reputable historian of the period would confirm that the use of the evergreen trees and holly in connection with winter solstice festivals was a tradition in place long before the birth of Jesus Christ. For millennia, evergreen trees have been a symbol of returning lit life during the cold winter months when it seems like all plant life dies or goes dormant. Unlike many plants, the evergreen fir tree and bushes such as holly remain green during the winter. So it is perhaps no surprise that these hardy plants have long been used to celebrate the winter solstice and its related festivals, as they served well to symbolize the life that remains in nature even in the depths of winter. While all the foliage around them seemed to die, the evergreen plants were seen to represent the promise that life would return in the spring. This connection is well known and not of recent discovery. Encyclopedia Britannica reports, in the Roman world of Saturnalia, around December 17th through 24th, was a time of merrymaking and exchange of presents. Fires and lights, symbols of warm and lasting life, have always been associated with the winter festival, both pagan and Christian. Evergreens as symbols of survival have long associated have a long association with Christmas festival. Why gift giving? The custom of gift giving during the winter festival goes back to Roman times and earlier. As a popular encyclopedia describes, the celebrations of Saturnalia include the making and giving of small presents. This holiday was observed over a series of days beginning on December 17th and ending on the 25th. The combined festivals resulted in an extended winter holiday season. The Feast of Sol Invictus on December 25th was a sacred day in the religion of Mithraism, which was widespread in the Roman Empire. Its god, Mithras, was a solar deity of Persian origin. Identified with the sun, it displayed its unconquerability as Sol Invictus when it began to rise higher in the sky following the winter solstice. Hence, December 25th was celebrated as the sun's birthday. In 274 CE, Emperor Aurelian officially designated December 25th as the festival of Sol Invictus. Why do we call it Christmas? The English word Christmas comes from the Catholic term the Mass of Christ, or Christ's Mass. According to the Catholic Encyclopedia, the word for Christmas in late Old English is Christus Masus, the Mass of Christ. First found in 1038, the Christus Messa in 1131, Christmas was not among the earliest festivals of the Church. There are two major assumptions regarding the origin of the word Noel. Some say that it is a distortion of the Latin word natalis, meaning birth. In the 12th century, the word was spelled nail in Old French, and it shares the same root as the Nativity, celebrated on December 25th. Others think that Noel comes from the combination of the Gaelic words Noah and Hel, the renewal or the rebirth of the sun. In both cases, the Bible never teaches the observance of the birthday of Jesus Christ, nor the rebirth of the sun. The history of the observance of December 25th goes back long before the birth of Jesus and entered Christendom as a baptized pagan festival. The early Catholic fathers wanted to ease their pagan converts into the Catholic faith and often found it useful to attach Christian meanings to the existing pagan practices. Historically, those pagan practices included gift-giving, parties, decorating evergreen trees, holly, mistletoe, and celebrating the birth or rebirth of a god. Okay. All right. That was interesting. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you liked it. Yeah. And until I see you again, please like, share, and subscribe. And God bless you all. Goodbye.